Not every intro to the podcast has to be good. Welcome back, everybody.
Sometimes you're there.
Sometimes it just happens.
That's it.
It's later at night than you're normal.
Jesus,
Sometimes it's even worse than normal.
I dropped a ring.
You dropped the one ring. That's the one you're not supposed to drop.
I feel like a real Mordor.
No,
Shut up. Shut
No.
up.
It's like moron, but Mordor.
Stop it. You are the moron.
Welcome to the podcast, Sven Johnson.
Yay.
It's me.
We don't have applause. I say it like we have an actual show, but it's always just dead noise other than us saying yay.
We have a studio audience over there, but we forbid them to clap. Well, it's not so much that we forbid them. It's just that the light that says applause that burned out a couple years ago.
Yeah,
So
so
And
they're even
they
hearing
naturally
this.
don't like our content anyway,
They
so
don't
they're
like
not
it.
going to clap.
They're not even, they're hearing this and still not getting the message. That's all the bet
That's
can
the
run
worst.
for. The bet.
So it says in our show notes your name is Sven Johnson? Sven Johnson.
There's an extra S in there. John's son.
Johnson.
Wait a minute, guys. You're brothers. That's not.
No.
Yeah, you're supposed to know each other's names.
Hey, you're an idiot.
I actually, when I was first making my YouTube channel, I considered going with my middle name, which is Ivor. Don't steal my information, please. But
You gave it out. I don't need to steal anything.
Okay.
Choke that
Okay.
mic down when you speak, too.
Yeah, put your mouth right on
Right
that
here,
bad
like
boy.
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
High quality.
But no, I wanted to do that so I wouldn't get like 1,000 people going, oh, you're just Gus's little brother. You're just doing his thing. I was like, what? It's a type of comedy, and I'm doing it too, so
The-
not directly copying anything.
The nice thing is that our last names are so obscure that no one would even guess that
Yeah.
we're related, is the thing. Honestly, though, you and me don't look alike like at all.
No, I was actually just like looking, because we just filmed a video earlier, and I had to wear a mullet for it. And I was looking at a picture of me with the mullet on, without my bangs, like my hair. That's the only thing that I look different with. And I look remarkably similar to you. My
What?
facial features, I will show you.
I don't get it.
You
later.
catch it sometimes.
Show
like-
me your face. Like,
Yeah.
No, there's like you catch it with siblings of the similarities. Like if it's just a way you guys like talk, if you smile a certain way or something, I'll be like, that's one of you when I see it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
your face.
Something like really changed DNA wise when Sven came along, though, because like we got 4 siblings in the Johnson household, and like me and my brother Thor and then my sister, like all of us look kind of the same, and we have like thinner, like lighter hair and stuff. And then Sven is like so much taller than everybody, and he has like this thick Chicano hair.
Just a fucking abomination of a person.
I don't know where
Sorry,
he came
guys.
from. That's okay.
But no, also one thing is Thor and I, everyone has said this too, and I could even notice this. We sound remarkably similar. Like our voices, it's basically the exact same voice.
Me and my sister sound the same. She sounds like this.
That's you. That sounds just like you talking.
Yeah.
So.
She always says,
The feeling of Rostam.
New Salad Fingers is out, by the way. Not a sponsor. Shout out David Firth. Go watch it. Some
That would
weird
be
shit.
a weird sponsor. It's like, hey guys, just 1 minute. We're sponsored by Salad Fingers.
How weird would it be though if sponsors were like other YouTube channels stuff,
That'd
and that
be
was
weird.
just normal.
Did you hear the Twitch thing kind of with that?
No, what's that?
When Ninja was doing that New York live stream, they were running ads for like Ninja's stream in front of other streams, and some people had a huge problem with that, and some people didn't. I
Yeah.
don't know how to feel about it yet.
I don't know. I think it's different than a YouTube thing. Like, because
Yeah.
Twitch is like, leave what you're doing right fucking now and
Like,
do this.
You're going to, because it shows the ad right before, so it's
Yeah.
like you chose to be a guest here. Fucking hop on over to this other guy.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it was, I could be completely wrong, like always. But like, I think it was a Twitch ad, which is like, imagine YouTube being like, hey, you watching Gus Johnson? How about a Jax Films video before you go over to it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'd click so fast, dude. Immediately.
Can't do that though.
Right away.
Yeah, speaking about sponsor stuff, like I kind of wanted to talk about this. We were talking about this before, like just frustrations with sponsors and stuff. And I mentioned this. Stop me, like if you don't want to talk about it all too. But It's so difficult like dealing with sponsorship stuff on YouTube too, especially when you're trying to like work out like rates and stuff, because the biggest thing is, for those of you that don't know, when you're starting to do like sponsorship stuff online, the people that are facilitating it, they always point to like how many direct sales that you made like in your custom link in the description or whatever. And we have issue with that, because it's like, how often do you see an ad like on a podcast or something like that? You're listening to something, and how often do you immediately say, I'm going to spend $50 right now?
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sure you heard it then. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I was
with
pooping
Sven.
earlier.
Yeah. Is that I got into a full argument with the sponsor early on with doing stuff, because he tried to, well, one, it was like I was working with a company. I really want to say their name, but I feel like it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So like I was working with a company that I had done an ad with before, and the guy I had worked it out with before was like, okay, you're a bigger channel. We're going to basically like double or triple what the rate is because your channel's blowing up. I was like, cool. You guys are cool. Let's do this. And then he moved on to another company. He was like, you're going to be dealing with this new guy. And the new guy was basically like, yeah, I know you guys already agreed to do the second deal, but I was looking at the numbers of the sales for it, and you basically made back like even what we paid you, so we're going to pay you probably the same thing. And I was fully like,
Yeah.
you must think I'm a fucking idiot if I think an advertisement is only worth the direct code sales of that thing.
Yeah.
That's so fucking dumb, dude.
That's the stupidest shit ever. I already just said it, and then you said it too, but it's like nobody fucking buy stuff right away. You don't do that shit. I've like stuff like Honey or other like subscription services and stuff I've started using, and it's because like I heard H3 and Philly D talk about it for months, and I was like, shit, I'll get that, and I forget to use the code.
Yeah.
That is a direct result of their sponsorships that they did.
This is me talking to us and the audience, not being like high and mighty to them.
Yeah.
We should use codes more.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to use them, I'll sometimes check out and I'll be like, I think I could have even gotten like 20% off if I just looked at a YouTuber I heard this from.
Yeah.
But I just didn't because I'm a lazy asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of ads, we just got done watching the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We're outing our date here. I'm literally wearing the outfit from the meme that you might have already seen that we all shot the Super Bowl commercial stuff.
We were if you haven't seen the video yet, we were watching the Super Bowl, and wow, the halftime show had teased before the Super Bowl that they were going to do a big Bubble Bowl Sweet Victory SpongeBob performance from the show. And they fucked it up.
Well, wait, what was the actual teaser for that, though? Because, like,
They
was it
had-
just, like, postings online?
I believe they tweeted out like a picture from SpongeBob.
Yeah, it was like in the quick, fast-paced compilation of the shit. It
Yeah.
was just like, oh, here's all the stuff that's going on, and they used a few seconds from the show.
That's basically all we saw in the
Yeah,
halftime
yeah,
was the
yeah.
picture. It's like,
Same amount of time. I
And
don't know.
They used it. They didn't even use the trumpet clip, which they could have used that trumpet clip from the beginning to introduce Sicko Mode, but they used like Sicko Mode's track and put the video over it, and then just cut to Travis Scott falling from space.
Have you guys seen the clip where Travis Scott was performing at a live show, and he's got the microphone, and it's like the live auto-tune thing with the microphone?
No, what does he do? What?
He falls off the stage.
Does it auto-tune
Yeah.
fall?
Can you do that?
Can I pull up just the audio?
Yeah, just all you have to do is play the audio on your mic. Here, do it on a phone. It'll probably be better.
Okay.
You just look that up.
Fuck, I'm bumping shit. What do I even search?
Just
Travis,
say okay to your
Travis-
phone and then go back
Travis-
to the laptop.
Yeah, well, my phone's at like 1%.
Well, are you gonna pick up your laptop? I can get it on my
It's
phone. if
loud.
you
It's
want.
loud. We can do it.
I know. I'm just saying the difficulty of putting your laptop next to a microphone rather than your own phone.
What should I?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott
Falls. You just literally say falls off stage and
Oh
it'll
my
be
God.
fine.
falls off stage auto tune.
That's it, the red one right there.
Okay, I'm gonna start it away from the mic and move in depending on how too loud it is.
Yeah. They should sample that for something.
Dude, honestly though, how self-aware and a great meme would that be if he sampled it in like his next single?
That'd be hilarious.
That would be a clutch move.
Or if you played Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl.
That would be even a better
That would
move.
be a good idea too. Whose decision do you think it was to nix that? Because
I don't think
clearly
it was
had,
anyone's decision to nix it. I think they begged somebody to kind of like put it in, and they like were pushed to agree to a little bit of it.
Yeah, I wonder because it's like it certainly had to be kind of seriously considered at least.
Yeah,
but I wonder who was the biggest problem point.
Probably Squidward, dude.
Probably.
Or Squilliam Fancies.
Ow! I'm not putting that. That was a bad impression.
Dude, that episode is fucking hilarious, by the way. I rewatched it.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, the phone call in the beginning between Squilliam and Squidward is fucking hilarious, dude. It's really... God, I love SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to say, I just think that people at the tops of, like, corporations and companies like that are so completely out of touch. So they didn't know what they're missing out on when they just like brush that off the table.
Yeah,
because
imagine not being just on Twitter or Reddit or anything like that, and then having people just say, "Oh, people will love it," and you'd be like, "Yeah."
I wonder if they even have like any representation in those big companies of like younger voices for people.
I don't know.
Probably interns that are too scared to say anything.
Yeah.
Honestly,
because. Here's what I don't even want to make assumptions, but if like Maroon 5 had a heavy hand in saying no, it's about us, that would really piss me off.
Yeah.
But there's no way we'll ever know that.
I'd beat the shit out of Adam Levine, dude, and whatever the name of anyone else in Maroon 5 is.
Those other very important guys.
The
who
other
are integral
four.
to the other four.
Adam Levine and Maroon 4.
I don't know. It's just. You just said it yourself. I don't understand how people don't recognize the meme power, like the money behind meme power too. Like if
Think of the age of the NFL though, like
it's
a
a bunch of white-haired idiots, old people. I don't know.
But
I don't
then
watch the NFL.
at some point, wouldn't they want to like try to draw in a new crowd? Because like, I guarantee you there were like thousands more like people from our generation who usually wouldn't watch the Super Bowl watching for one, the possibility of the SpongeBob halftime show, or like even the PewDiePie ad that was like hinted at. Like they could have drawn in so much more attention and like ratings from that if they would have brought any one of those promises to fruition. But I don't know.
There's so much stuff like that though, even in video games, where it's just like, why didn't the company fucking listen?
Yeah.
It's all over the place, and I guess the main answer is just like, people don't like listening to feedback or listening. They just think they've got it no matter what.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's true when people actually got it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's not.
How simultaneously helpful but also potentially poisonous would it just be for like any marketing team to have like one like mid-20s Reddit guy on their marketing staff, It would be probably a lot of the times a great idea, and then sometimes, ooh, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Just like insulting the other employees.
Just shitting on
all
stuff.
of Reddit is hostile.
I don't know. There's so much money behind like a company embracing a meme. I don't get
Yeah.
it. Like even
What's the best case of that happening?
oh yeah, I don't know. A company embracing a meme.
Like, it has to be an existing meme.
Well, I mean, you could look at it a couple different ways. Are you familiar with like the Twitter pages for like Wendy's and stuff? Like,
Not
dude,
super.
Wendy's social media is fucking great. Like, they get it.
I've changed moods on it. Wendy's was the one that kind of broke new ground with it, and I like it. But what I hate now is that there will be, and Tony's mainly the one that kind of changed my opinion on it, where he's like, now there's full conversations like daily between like BK, McDonald's, and Wendy's all in the same thread, and it's like,
really?
Yeah, like trying to meme each other, and it's like, you guys are fucking corporations. Like, what? You guys are just a bunch of 20-year-olds speaking for Wendy's.
Yeah.
It's hard to do without being cringy.
Yeah.
Too, is the other thing, which is maybe why so many companies are afraid to do it.
Yeah.
But
It is risky in a lot of, I feel like a lot of like shareholders' eyes. They'd be like, oh, I'm not letting some kids take the reins of like my billion-dollar corporation.
Wendy's gets it done a lot, though. Wendy's will, because you know what it is that Wendy's said things you thought you weren't allowed to say as a company.
Yeah.
Like, they would just fully be like, yeah, your burgers are shit, McDonald's. And you're like, "Well,"
Fucking
they
fight
wouldn't
me.
say it phrased like that, but they would say something like, your trash burgers, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Really?
it's Twitter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
it's-
still,
wow,
it's weird.
I was not aware of that.
I like that.
At a certain point, that's like unprofessional too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's good for both of them, kind of. That's why. I mean, we watched the fucking Bud Light ad, which is great. But
I
like,
love that.
that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, the no corn syrup stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one to pull out. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for
Does it?
I was just gonna say, because we were talking about the video. So what happened if you didn't see it is we made a meme about them fucking it up. And the one thing that you read on Reddit, I wanted you to mention just
The dude that was like saying
like two people said it. Yeah.
There's a couple people too that like, again, I love Reddit and I have my career to owe to Reddit, really, but there's just sometimes really shitty, dumb things that people say just in the comment section.
The main thing really quick is that Reddit gives you the idea when you're browsing that everyone is like pretty smart because that's how upvoting works. But then when you see any recents, you're like, oh, people are dumb everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's weird to see it on Reddit because you're like, you're not supposed to be dumb here. This is Reddit.
Dude, I am just as guilty as anybody, too, where, like, I will log away information in my mind for a long time as, like, oh, that's a fact because I read it in a Reddit thread, you know?
What were you saying?
But anyway, yeah, there's a couple people that were like, so the Super Bowl thing happened, and we immediately, like, frantically were like, oh, we got to make this video. And we shot it while the Super Bowl was going on. And then, like, there are a few people that were just like, yeah, they probably just pre-recorded, like, both possible outcomes of this, and they just made it to, like, make money. And it's like, dude, the fucking live stream of the Super Bowl is on in the background.
Yeah.
Are you stupid?
Also, how many possibilities could happen with the Bubble Bowl? We joked about multiple different ways they could have done it in the video. So it's like, what did we film? 40 different possibilities just replacing little things.
Yeah.
Like some of our jokes were like about specific things that we saw in the halftime show, and people just don't get that.
You know what I think it is they barely thought about it and commented it, and we're thinking way more about it than they did. I think they were just like, oh yeah, that's probably it. And then they're fucking went back to eating Cheetos and watching the Super Bowl.
That's the thing is I feel like there's an underlying thread with like some of the commenters on Reddit where they just think that they know something, and it's one of the only platforms where you can just confidently say something without fully fucking backing it up, and you're just hiding behind a username too.
Yeah, dude.
Like we said before, like like shit that bugs us the most is not when people like shit on our stuff. Like we could read 40 negative comments and be like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when someone just says something that's just so factually inaccurate, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Did we talk before the Vine Star thing or whatever?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
dumb
just
shit.
very 2 sentences.
Yeah, the condensed version was just like, someone was even being positive and was
Yeah.
just like, in the thread where one of my videos was on, our videos was just like, yeah, you know, Gus was a Viner, and then, you know, he jumped ship to YouTube, and his first video was TV for sale. And someone's like, is that true? Yeah, he did this. And it's just like, I did not do Vine, and I had been doing videos for 2 years before TV for sale.
Yeah.
But just some guy just, yeah, that's the truth, and doubles down on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoa.
Yeah, like, what's the point?
That's the stuff that bothers us. Like, there's some for even the commentary guys where it'll be like, and I thought it was just me for a bit, but no, it's everybody. Like, all the commentary group of people will get like, hey, you're copying this guy. And it'll be like Drew or Danny, or Drew will get one about Danny, or Danny will get one about Drew. And it's like when I was first, I don't get those comments anymore, but when I was first starting, I was like Danny and Drew. I got those all the time. I know I've said this around the trip, but I don't think on the podcast. But it was just like they know it too. We've talked about it. I was doing commentary like a couple months before them. Just like they are clearly bigger than me, and I think more talented. But it's like, I'm not fucking copying them.
And it's like they're not copying you either. It's a style of video.
Yeah,
it's a
dude,
genre.
I know.
It's a genre.
I hate it. I hate everybody.
You looking at my YouTube channel?
I don't know. I was looking at your YouTube channel. Yeah, too, because I was going to say another thing, too. You had said before, you know, we've worked on a few projects and stuff together, too, and we are brothers. But genuinely, like, I have not had a single hand in, like, any of your viral videos, like, creating them and stuff. Like, I'm just looking at your channel right now, and your big, like, 3 are Car Doggo, How to Be a Moth, and When You Expect a Full Milk Jug. And, like, I didn't even do anything for those.
I do remember, though, you gave me my first video. That's on my channel.
Your first video ever.
That's the one where we went to the observatory. And at the Griffith Observatory in California, there's a sign that says entrance right on the front door. And then below it says, do not enter or something. And Gus was just like, here. Because you'd been nagging me for, like, months to try to start my own YouTube channel. Yeah. But I was just like, I don't know.
Well, because you kept saying funny stuff and you were giving me ideas, and it's like, this is cool, but like at a certain point, like I feel guilty taking these good ideas. Like, just make some of your own too. So
yeah. So I just remember you made me film that video, and then the first day, like, this is probably not a super relatable thing, but like the first day, just like watching and like refreshing every 20 minutes, I get like another 50 to 100 views, and I was like, whoa,
that's so fun. That's so fun.
And I was like, okay, this is it, guys.
Yeah.
The first time you see numbers roll in on a video, no matter how significant it is, it's the craziest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mentioned that the iFunny thing too?
Yeah.
I was playing GTA 5 with my friends, the first sub boost I ever got, and it was like, I think we were at like 300, and then it was like, we were racing in GTA and we finished the match. I'm like, I went up 400 subs in that race. It
Yeah.
was one video boost that I had like that went. It just only went up to like 3,000, but it was like a quick like 3-hour period where it happened.
That was on iFunny?
Yeah, which
Dude.
I hate to even acknowledge.
Yeah, dude. iFunny just totally went to garbage.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was
That's
cool
the
for a
thing.
while.
That's
So
the
good.
hard thing to
Really
explain.
cool.
Is like I was on it when it was cool, and then I stopped using it when it wasn't. And it's just like it's hard to be like, yeah, no, that was kind of pure and where memes were for a little bit, maybe like a couple of months.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think memes ever started on iFunny, did they? Because I thought they were usually like just ripped from Reddit.
Most of the time they were ripped from Reddit, but there were also like a good amount of like actual content creators and meme creators on it. But I don't know. I just even hated it when I was there. I remember saying mid iFunny, like if I hit 30K subs on YouTube, I will delete my iFunny channel immediately. And the second commentary took off for me, iFunny has not been an app on my phone since.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I fucking
I don't
hated
know.
that.
It used to be so cool though too. Like it was
Yeah.
a genuine thing where like I mean I remember even when I was a freshman in college and shit. Like you go around to like your friends and everyone would be like, "Did you see the features yet today, dude?"
Yeah.
Like the 5th one, hilarious. Like let me know when you see
Yeah.
it and stuff like that.
You want to hear some juice? I can talk about some juice about
Give
iFunny.
me juice.
You're going to say something first. So I want to hear first.
I was just going to say, like, one of the things that totally ran iFunny into the ground is, well, I remember, like, a few big things. First of all,
yeah, I can talk about this. I can talk all you want about this, dude.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to talk about this shit.
there were, like, I remember, like, 3 or 4, like, big accounts on iFunny that would consistently get featured. So that
Yeah.
everyone would be like, what's going on here? It was like the algorithm before the algorithm existed on YouTube, at least
Yeah.
to our knowledge. And so, like, I still don't know why. Like, it was, you'd go and you'd see, I can't remember any
No, I
names,
knew
but it was
those
like-
people. No, it was like
Really?
it wasn't like a handshake deal with the iFunny people, but it was that the actual staff was so lazy that they were like, "Oh, we can just check these people's account when we
Oh,
need features."
that's bullshit.
Yeah, it wasn't like cool algorithmic shit because the like features were handpicked. So
Oh.
you could have a super popular post and not have it featured. So there were a couple of things that like ruined iFunny. One, immediately the staff. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think they're all Russian, no joke.
Yeah.
And they just pretended to be like a U.S. staff. So they had this one dude, and this is not private info, that like paraded around. His name was iFunny Chef, right?
Oh yeah,
I
isn't he the
remember
head
him.
dude?
I remember him.
That's what we thought.
Allegedly.
That's what we thought.
Oh, here's the juice.
So like that's where I got my start on my channel. Is like we made. It was when iFunny was cool, and I was like in high school making sketches, and I was like, if we make a trailer, like a fake trailer for an iFunny themed movie, then they would feature it because they'd be so flattered because it was still kind of in the infancy of it getting popular, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. So like I started talking to the chef dude, and he was really fucking weird. Even in messages, like text messages, I had him on GroupMe, not text messages. He would open everything like "hello" or like "hello Eddie," comma, and he would write it like an email.
It sounds
or
like a
message.
bot.
It was really It did seem like a bot, but like he would talk about specific things. So then, I like later, I think it was like a year later, I was a freshman in college, and I was like, oh, if I come to him like, and I want to make a series of like, it was called Let's Make a Short Film, where it was like I take 4 suggestions of what comedy sketch people would want to see, their own ideas, and then they vote on it at the end of one of the videos, and then the next week I do the one that won the votes. So it's like you just keep making what people want to see. And they were gonna start featuring it, and talking to them was a fucking nightmare, dude.
Really?
It was like
Why?
it was supposed to be every 2 weeks, and it would be like a month would go by, and I'd be waiting with the video, like, hey, I'm ready to post it if you guys want to feature it, like, because it was supposed to be a featured series on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
No
wait a
answer.
minute. So you maybe I'm catching on late, but you had like an insider hookup, so they were like, okay, we'll feature your shit when you put it up.
Yeah, I pitched it to them as like fully transparent, like it would be a series that you guys would be featuring.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And because I knew them, they said yes at first, and it was a fucking nightmare to get them to do it. So the thing is, Chef, we found out, I think, is like 6 different people as
Really?
one person. And the weird thing about it was it was like 2 years or 3 years I was supposedly knew this dude.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, do you want to make like a voice cameo? I'll put it like in an audio track or something like that. Sends in the audio track, and it's like a young woman.
What?
And his
What?
name is like David. And I was like what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you? And so then I heard from other people that he was like multiple people. And I was just like, I
What
felt
the hell?
it was so weird. And then like through that, I had found out that they were like their team was in Russia and everything like that. And what really, really tanked that app is, for people that don't know, for iFunny, is like you'd post memes, And in the beginning of the app, it was once a day. There'd be 20 posts.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Simple as hell. You could go and see 20 memes at the end of the day, whatever. Then they were like, okay, we're going to do 40 now. And I remember immediately telling them, that's too much. That's already too much. But then their user like activity went up a little bit. But then they made it 60.
Yeah.
And I think they made it 80 at one point.
Yeah, I think it was 4 times a day.
And it's just like, what the fuck is this
point?
anymore?
I remember like using the app. Like I would look at it all the time, and then you're taking an extra long poop or something. You want to look at maybe new or something. So I was using the app all the time, every day, and I was punished for it by push notifications. Like, hey, look at the app. Look at the app. It's like, I'm fucking using the app. You're supposed to send these notifications out if I haven't touched it in like 3 weeks or something.
They would do the cringy ones too, being like, we got like hot memes out of the kitchen ready for you on the table.
Yeah.
It's like, stop.
Do you remember too, like, for a while, like people were starting to notice like iFunny ads, and they were featuring like really too young looking girls.
Dude, that's when I fully checked out and stopped associating with them.
Yeah.
Is they were running ads even before then of just like, it's iFunny's 3rd anniversary. Here's a chick with the smiley face on her ass. And I'd be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I remember like it went for a while, like when I started to like kind of push away from it, is like you just go through like New or Collective or something, and it'd just be all shit like that. Just like scantily clad women.
Dude, yeah, it was. Once like accounts became a thing, the whole thing was flooded with horrible shit. They even made my account a mod at once. They told a bunch of people that they were like, you can help moderate if you want to. And it was just like, I never used it ever. I never banned anyone. I didn't do anything. It was just like, the people who were, though, I'd talk to them, and it would just be horrible shit posted all the time. Like type of shit that's on a subreddit that might get banned from Reddit that they would post, and they just had a terrible they had no moderating team. So you could go on New on iFunny and see like horrible things.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
The butts?
Yes. 2 butts even.
You don't. One sec. My kid brother's on the podcast right now, so if you could refrain from that language.
I have the other ear.
Butts before me.
Do you have the other ear?
I can hear in the other ear that you didn't take off my ear.
Wait, take both. Sven, take. Okay, so Gus took the other one off.
Is on the podcast.
You just put one back.
For our audio listeners, I don't want to even explain it.
What's Sven, you're a little younger than we are. Is there like social media shit that we're missing out on?
Yes, you
What is
are
it? You're
actually.
gonna say TikTok, aren't you?
No, fuck no.
Dude, I got so much hate for saying I don't like TikTok on Twitter from the young people.
Actually, really?
Yeah, I said if it was a cringy TikTok ad of like lip syncing stuff, and I said if you think TikTok's better than Vine, you should be arrested or some shit.
Is that
like
what they think?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not that young. That's just misleading, dude.
Okay, cool.
But I wonder, like, if like when Vine was a thing, if people our age looked at Vine and was like, that's trash.
No, they did.
They
Yeah.
did?
No, yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
that's such a weird thing. That's also
Because Vine was trash, but I loved it, but it was trash.
yeah. Well, okay, that's true. But that's like also kind of like I don't know if it's a paradox. Definitely not a paradox. I don't know what I'm thinking about. But it's when you look back at shows like Drake and Josh and I don't know Wizards of Waverly Place, Sweet Life with Zach and Cody, all those Disney shows. At least I always think, oh man, they don't make Disney and Nickelodeon shows like they used to. Those were the good old days, you know?
Yeah.
Like my shows. But like if you actually go back and rewatch them, they're kind of funny because you remember them being funny as a kid. But then if you compare them side by side to a lot of stuff that they're playing nowadays, I mean, this is a bold claim here, but I would say it's not that far off.
Really?
I would
It
say
is
so.
in a way. So the thing is, like, Disney Channel, I would disagree in a way of like, yeah, they don't hold up as regular shows for adults, but the new shows are fucking weird, man. Like Dog with
And
a Blog,
some of them are.
dude.
Some
Like-
of them are. But like even in our days, like I didn't like all the stuff that they were playing on TV. Like Zoe 101, I never liked that.
No, dude.
It was,
This is some fucking blasphemy you're shouting.
but no, okay, maybe this is me just talking with the bias that I just explained, but I still do think that Drake and Josh is like funnier than any other show that will be on Nickelodeon, at least real time.
Yeah, I wonder too, because like not wanting to give a goddamn shred of credit to Dan Schneider.
Oh, yeah.
Go and hide her old Dan Schneider.
I'm going to write fuck you on my toes and send him a picture
Yeah.
of it.
But it's like, it seemed like, and I don't know how much of a hand he had in it specifically, but like the writers for like Zoe 101 and then like the big juggernauts that were Drake and Josh and then iCarly, it seemed like they had a consistent, like funnier tone to it, like a little
Yeah.
more clever jokes with the kiddie shit. I don't know though. I don't know who did
But
that.
yeah.
You were gonna. What we asked
Yeah.
about what we're
Oh,
missing.
social
out.
media.
This
What
was
stuff
I
is it?
distracted us.
Side
I
note.
keep doing
no,
that.
that's totally fine. Social media, the one that you guys like probably wouldn't even care about in a million years, is Visco.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Visco. Okay.
Visco. I've never even heard of Visco.
It's VSCO, and it's just like a big white circle, I guess. And I will say it's like, oh god, 70% girls on it. Like that just kind
count
of.
me out.
But no, it's basically what I like about it so much is it's like a virtual picture gallery because you open up the app and it's just like white and you scroll down and it's just the picture. Like
Oh, I've seen that. People kind of use it for the like Finsta shit, right?
Finsta? What's that?
It's
fake
like a
Instagram.
fake Instagram.
Man,
Oh.
you are out of touch, guys.
I don't know what I don't know. You
Doing?
tell me. Just tell the.
Yeah, that's the video we just shot. But no, yeah, it's what I like about it is it's I don't know why, but it's almost always like super high quality pictures and the filters on it are like incredible. And you can't comment on other people's shit. And you can't see how many people liked your picture. All
I
you
like
see is the
that a
picture
lot.
and then just their name underneath it. So it's like pretty much drama free.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. I like that. That sounds like
feel
the
like-
better social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you check it less. Like how many likes do I
Yeah,
have?
You're
It's
just
like-
cataloging shit. It's like if you're a person who's like, I only do it to catalog everything. It's like then only use that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see how many followers you have on it? Like other
You-
people have?
No, like I can't even go and look. This is how many people are following me right now. It's like if I post something, you can click on view activity, and then only the person who posts it can see how many people liked it, which is a star,
Yeah.
or you can see how many people reposted it. But that's like the only thing is reposting. Say I post a picture and somebody reposts it, it'll show up in my feed as like reposted by blah blah blah, and it'll be my picture. So that's the only way that you can see like other activity from other people. But it's like that doesn't happen a whole lot.
That's pretty
So-
cool. I didn't
I like
even
that.
hear that one before.
That's a lot better than TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing with Visco that just baffles me is more so than any other social media site that I've ever used is I will see stuff like it'll be a post and it'll be a repost because it'll be, hey mom, for every repost I get, it'll be in a text messaging app too.
Oh,
I don't
no,
understand
I don't
this.
like that.
Yeah, they're texting their mom and they say, hey mom, for every repost I get on Visco, can we donate $1 to the Children's Cancer Society?
Can we?
Yeah, and and the mom will always say like, "Sure thing, kiddo. Good luck." And then like the person will text back to their mom, "Okay, Visco, let's do your thing."
Yeah.
And it's like
the mom was like,
it's like
fuck.
one, if I dig through like something that I post, like I said, I have to manually scroll through and manually count each repost. So
Oh, God.
one,
No.
if they get like 1,000 reposts, there's no way they're sitting there scrolling through all that, counting that up. And two, of course they're not donating that money. They just want like attention on Visco, which brings me back to the first thing. I don't understand why, because you can't see, oh, this has been reposted 100,000 times.
They want to see the number on their own thing, even if other people can't see. It's gross.
It's explicitly for them, which is
Yeah.
like toxic.
That's like the
It's-
worst kind of
yeah,
social media thing where
sadistic
it's not even for anyone else. It's just like,
Yeah.
I want the likes.
It's not showing off like, oh, look at how many likes my thing got. It's like only you can see that.
I absolutely hate that format too. Of it's cross-platform. The okay, blank, do your thing.
Yeah.
Shut
Dude.
up,
I
dude.
hate that.
See it on Twitter all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
Twitter, do your thing. That's
There was-
stupid.
A lot of those like, will you buy me a car? It's like, why the fuck would I care if you get a car?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's like stuff like that. And like some of the funniest ones I've seen is it'll be someone and they DM like Disney Channel's Instagram page and they DM and says, hey Disney, how many repubs on Visco do I need to bring back like Hannah Montana or something? It's like, you can't do that. And then I don't know how they fake this, probably just some simple Photoshop, but then they always respond like 10,000 repubs. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, Visco, do your thing. Let's make Miley Cyrus 10 years younger.
Do it.
I would love Disney Channel responded with like, okay, Visco, do your thing.
I want Disney Channel to be like explicitly in their professional thing. Like, get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
I
here.
know.
Fuck you thinking, fucking loser.
You know how many people we have to talk to get a pilot started? I can't do that shit. You know what's one thing that does really piss me off? Well, I don't get it, and it makes me sound like an old cranky dude. But it's like I feel like a few years after we got out of like high school and stuff, like kids get in like middle school and going into high school and stuff. Like Snapchat explicitly became like the main messaging source for a lot of kids. 13, Thor, our younger brother, that's totally like everybody snaps each other.
Well, that happened late high school for me, like for me as well.
For in like chatting stuff though, where it's like genuine, like not
even
just
without,
like
even
fucking
before
around.
the chat was added. I think the chat was added when we were like, you were probably a sophomore. I was a freshman in college. It's been there
Maybe.
for a long time now.
But where it's like the main thing is what I'm noticing, and it's like I look at these kids' phones and stuff, and they're having just like general text message conversations that you'd have in a messenger or a messaging app. But it's like I hate that thing because it's like shit goes away. I want to reference stuff, and you have to manually save the stuff that you want to do. It's like it's totally fine if you want to use that, but that seems like it's the main source of communication.
I'm a little bit guilty of that. Talking
like
Snapchat. I do kind of like, because like sometimes if it's like closer friends or like a significant other, sometimes it's like it's a different element of the conversation when you can see their facial expression, because then you can like type something jokingly or something totally asinine, and then you can see their face looks like that, so you know that.
Oh yeah, I'm talking exclusively the chat function. I still love Snapchat with the picture stuff.
Well, what I like is that you can go, when you use the chat function like that, you can just move in and out of like picture, video, text through the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I like, unlike before, my friend Paul will send me a video, and I can just chat to him like, oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Then we start a conversation there, and it's not like, hey, you want to move this text, baby? You know, it's like we just stay there.
Yeah, that's
but
a
no,
good point. I
get
just
it.
don't like having to save shit if it's your primary
That's
messaging
I like
source.
it going away usually.
I don't. I'm a hoarder. I need to keep my little memories.
I keep my text though. I think I have a lot of gigs of text
Really?
on my phone still. They transferred over to the new one, so I don't have a lot of
Oh.
space.
That's no fun. I always wish that would just disappear. Like I don't need that much shit.
Yeah, I don't want to consciously delete it.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to just go away for me and be like, sorry, it was a year old. You don't need it anymore.
That's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
But yeah, about Snapchat too, another thing that really bugs me about that app, and it's another one of those like teenage like look at my status things, is so many people. I think I was maybe like the cutoff for this generation, but there are still a lot of people like in my age group that I see do this, but they send just pictures on Snapchat, and they say streak to
I
keep
hate
your
that shit.
Snapchat streak
That's
going.
so stupid.
And then
Yeah.
like you'll like look over someone's shoulder, and you see like, it's just like streak after streak as they're scrolling, and like they want you to think, whoa, they're really popular. They're talking to a lot of people. But I just see that and I'm just like, dude, that's a waste, and I already can kind of tell what kind of person you are right now.
Yeah, because if you're friends with somebody, you don't need a streak to prove how much you're
Honestly.
friends with them, especially if there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's just like the friendship should be the example for it.
Yeah,
Not like I
yeah.
need a little fire emoji next to Gus's name on Messenger.
Otherwise, I don't respect you.
We live together, have our businesses, and hang out all the time, but it's like, we don't have a streak, dude. I don't know.
You
I
just
guess I'll
burst
call
in.
you an acquaintance.
You're just banging on my wall. Gus, it's 11:30. We need to do a streak.
Picture or video, it's fine. Just either one.
Should we take a couple questions?
Please.
Or for our Spanish viewers, it would be called
Cerveza. Sorry, I saw the opportunity to say it. I couldn't stop
I
myself.
honestly don't know what question is right
Preguntas.
now.
Oh,
preguntas.
preguntas.
Sí.
Ta-da. At Stace1119 asks, what is your favorite and least favorite conspiracy theory? Before we asked which ones will we want to know, but what's your fave ski?
My fave ski. To me, is this to all of us?
Yeah,
probably?
it's open floor questions.
Oh God. Okay. Depends on what you define as a conspiracy, because I will go out there and I say I think aliens totally exist.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to believe
well,
that.
just the math for it.
Yeah, well,
That's what everybody
statistically,
says,
it's like improbable or impossible that alien life doesn't exist at least somewhere on another planet in our universe. But like, I totally think that they've come to Earth
Dude,
too.
I gotta talk about this again. Then I talked about it before. If you guys didn't hear it, and it was confirmed. I kept saying that like, oh, what I'm saying is dumb as hell, but like, and like I don't know. But we looked it up. Tony confirmed it on the screen on the
Yeah.
podcast. It was like, did you see the thing that came out last year from the like? And I'm not that guy. I swear, I'm not like aliens are here. But
Welcome to the Eddie
oh.
Burback experience.
just fucking like, all right, guys. I swear to God. But it was like last year they released footage from 2004 of like a jet pilot filming in the sky this thing that was moving like a speed and direction in the way it was flying, like something completely unknown to the way we're doing, like, or to the way we can fly. and it was like part of, I don't know if it was Homeland Security, but it was at least part of the government that was a department to monitor that stuff, closed down. And the head of it released that footage. That's real legal, like, government footage that came out. And then they asked, like, even the pilot was like, this is, like, nothing I could even explain.
Yeah. Like,
and that happened. That's real.
I see, and they could just be stories, but, like, I see stories like that all the time. And, like, I've watched alien documentaries and stuff about, like, stuff that's moving, like, 7,000 miles per hour. And that just, like, turns on a dime the same speed. And it's like, that's not possible.
I saw a green sedan go through the neighborhood the other day.
I just knew. I looked at you. I knew.
It was clocking at least 80, and not only could I not explain why it was going that fast, I didn't know who owned the car. What? Hey, what could that be?
It's fucking ET in there. Who knows?
So that was that.
Least favorite, I would say, is the fucking flat Earth bullshit.
Yep.
It's
stupid. There's no conspiracy. It's just people who are delusional and want to be like just go against the grain.
Oh wait, does anti-vaxxers, does that count as a conspiracy, or does that count as just the
I
dumbest
would,
fucking thing in the world?
Just misinformation idiots.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I gotta say,
way.
I'm so sorry if you're a listener to this podcast and you've loved us up to this point and you're an anti-vaxxer.
You're an idiot.
You're a fucking moron.
You're
and
dumb.
Kids will get sick and die because you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Please unsubscribe.
Genuinely? Yeah.
Get out of here.
If you think that we shouldn't vaccinate kids, unsubscribe right now.
Who do we say to fuck off the other? Ohio. If you're from Ohio, or
I was not the part of that team. Don't say what did we say. Oh,
No,
wait, no,
hey, look
actually,
at
I
me.
did say that. I did say
Look
that.
at me. Fuck Ohio. Fuck anti-vaxxers.
We're just kidding, Ohio.
That's baseball, though.
But
you
that's
know.
Ohio. That's showbiz, baby. I love that joke. It was that guy with his dog, right?
Yeah.
I fucking love that. But yeah, the anti-vaxxers thing. Does that I guess that could count as a conspiracy, right? Or
I
no,
guess.
that's just
Well-
bad science. Some people think it's the government, though.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's all a conspiracy is someone just thinks it's the government generally doing something.
Which branch?
What I love is the original source of the anti-vaxxer stuff is like a study used by scientists to be like, hey, here's a study gone wrong and jumping to conclusions. And they still are like, did you fucking read that? It's like, come on, dude.
It's so funny too. Like there's got to be scientists over the last like few centuries or anything too, where they come up with shit that is so against what everybody else agrees with, where it's just one fluke thing like that, and they don't realize that they're like creating a conspiracy theory like in the future accidentally.
That's the thing too, is like, I'm sure there's probably one person listening to this who's like, they haven't woken up. And it's just like, to that person or to any like anti-vaxxer, it's just like crazy to see like humanity come so far and then kind of get so bored that we become so dumb that we start killing ourselves off again.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, we have these things that save us now? What if they kill us? It's like,
What if?
it's like, all right, fuck, man. Maybe we deserve to go. I don't know.
Dude, another conspiracy that I totally hate is, have you ever heard of the chemtrails conspiracy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just totally bullshit, dude. They think that there's like poison in the chemical trails left behind jets that like falls down, and then we all become like angry and brainwashed.
We
by
all
the
become
government.
Alex Jones.
You ever just walk outside and then you take a big whiff and you go, I'm ornery. It's a chemtrail.
You're right.
I do say that verbatim most days I leave the apartment.
That's
though.
a chemtrail, or
No, that's a chemtrail. Oh, here's something that is not a conspiracy theory, and it's not a question, but we said we were going to just mention it really quickly, and it's about the Kickstarter backer reward stuff. Here's the thing. Again, thank you so much for donating to the Kickstarter. This could not have happened without you.
we can't stress enough before the words we have to say that we genuinely are so thankful, and literally none of the podcast would have happened without all of the backers being so cool and so awesome. And there are still some of the top tier ones we're trying to schedule out. But
and genuinely, virtually everybody has gotten their like Kickstarter reward stuff.
Yeah.
There have maybe been 2 or 3, a couple of people who like we'll still see it sometimes. I remember 2 episodes ago we got comments, like there was one person that that was just like, Jesus Christ, like send out your backer rewards. And we did. We looked up her name and we referenced it in the Gus and Eddy podcast email, and we had sent her like the messages that said, please send us your address, and she never responded to it.
which I would say she did say she didn't get them, but that's where my big problem is that I didn't, as far as I know, the people who are you're not complaining, the people who didn't get a reward, the couple of people.
Yes.
I have not received a private message from them at all saying like, hey, I think I didn't get the email, even though we tweeted publicly multiple times like, hey, you're going to miss the cutoff. This costs a lot of money for us to do this, so we have to ship it once. That's why we waited to get all the addresses. And then like no private message, but publicly on the podcast basically being like, you guys don't care about your Kickstarter backers. You didn't send anything.
Yeah, and it's like 99% of the people got their stuff. And also, yeah, there are people too where we had sent out an email to everybody, and if they didn't get it, they would probably be listening to the podcast because they donated to like fund it.
Yeah.
We said on the podcast multiple times, like, please send it to this email. And we
said
even
check your spam.
Yeah, we said check your spam folder. We're explicitly saying like please send your information to this email or we won't say it. And every time it was kind of funny. I don't want to like shit on people, but we'd say that, and then like I would get to my personal Patreon like a message like, here's my information, and it's like, I'm gonna lose this. Like, you're not gonna get your thing. Don't send it that way.
Yeah, like again, I just want to stress so you guys know where we're coming from. Like, think about having hundreds of names and addresses you have to ship stuff to. You have to get it in the same spot, and you have to get it by a certain time, or else Gus and I, since we moved to LA, would just be like, oh, it's Monday, gotta go do the rewards again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad because it's like, this isn't directed at anyone.
Yeah.
It's just like, we sent them out. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
And I genuinely, at this point, it's a couple of people too. And I even hate speaking negatively about it. It just does bug me when it's kind of publicly like that, you know, where it's just like, send out the fucking rewards.
Yeah,
it's
it was like Jesus Christ.
Everybody
send out the
got
rewards.
it. And like when you see that, we even looked too, and it's like that had like 19 likes. So it's like, we don't want you to sway public opinion to think that we scammed everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your name fell through the cracks. Like something went wrong here, but you did not get us your information, and I'm sorry that happened to you. You know?
Yeah, and again, not that specific person because it's happened like 2 or 3 times. But yeah, it's like, I don't know what to say. And then it's like, who are these 19 people who liked it, where it's like they didn't know anything about the Kickstarter rewards, but they're like, they might be scamming people, and then just liked it.
That didn't happen. So like, we just wanted to say like, just that this is what's going on. Everybody's gotten them, and I'm sorry. Also, there were 3. I believe that the number in terms of just specifically the envelopes that we sent out were like 240 envelopes.
Yeah.
3 envelopes came back as non-deliverable things.
And they were, and you double checked, they were the exact address that we were given.
That we were given, yes. And I still have them somewhere, but that's the extent of like failed mail delivery stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry that happened. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's honestly, it's just this main frustration is coming. Sorry, Sven, to have you.
Sorry. How do you feel about
the
this?
main frustration is just like we're so thankful and we care so much, and you guys have heard us talk about how glad we are for everyone to be listening. And that's what kind of made us feel shitty about seeing like a comment with 20 likes being like, you guys don't give a shit. It's like, we totally do. Like, what do you want us to do other than what we did?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is if people were just privately messaging us and was just like, hey, I'm sorry I don't have it yet, that's totally fine. And like, we've both gone in and stuff and like privately messaged people in the past before we like sent out the bulk order and we're just like, oh, yep, sorry, got your information now and stuff. But when it's publicly like that, like we have to like talk about it, and we don't want its public opinion to be unfairly swayed the other way.
Yeah.
Like, we sent them out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, there's one more like note thing I want to add that's like 10 seconds is Sven, you, my brother Tony, who you guys know from editing the podcast, and Jakey, we're all coming out here, and that was about a week ago.
Yeah.
We dropped 2 podcasts on Tony in like 5 days, and he had to edit them. And Tony called me as one was rendering right before it was going to go out. He was like, holy shit, dude, I forgot to add in some picture stuff on the front of it. And I was like, you know what? People are like, our listeners are nice. They don't care. Like, just upload it anyway.
Yeah.
And then people were like really fucking mean to it.
Again,
like,
it
about
was like a couple.
It was just like, it was like maybe 6 or 7 people being like, wow, Tony never listens to the edit. And it was just like, I gave the go ahead. Blame me for that. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Tony. Like, blame me for that. I was shitty about it. You didn't see a picture of Elmo's parents' dicks because of me. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, and I think it's important to talk about this stuff. And I always feel weird just talking like negatively about shit, but
it's not negative.
But it's not
listeners
negative.
Even.
Yeah,
it's just like it's me feeling bad about some comments.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We got the podcast set in the apartment. Like, it's edited by family. We have family and close friends on as like guests and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, people see shit, you know.
Yeah.
Be a good person, you know.
Yeah.
If you have a
just trying to
problem,
be nice.
maybe contact us personally, and we'll try to figure it out. Because we're glad that you're here, and we want you to have a good time.
Yeah, I don't want that to come across like we're like we don't like people that listen to this podcast, because literally you guys have heard it. You guys won't think that.
So just shut the fuck up. We like you.
No, but like they've heard the podcast like a couple episodes ago. I was feeling like fucking thank you. 'Cause that's the real feeling about it. But this is just okay. Back
Just
to
a
Sven.
couple bad apples.
Speaking of having a good time, I don't think I'm gonna have a good time unless I'm able to empty my bladder right
Dude,
now.
No.
Which
You
I
go
can do
first.
now because it's February.
Thank you.
Not
Yes,
January.
dude.
Thank you. You go first, and then I'll do it too.
And
Not
then
at
I'll
the
go
same
after.
time.
We'll cycle out.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's a
Okay.
good old cycle. You can go.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
Get outta
Bye.
here.
Bye. Bye.
Right here then.
Right here.
Take
No,
the
no, no, no,
headphones
no, no,
off.
no.
Take that.
Okay, I actually ripped a piece of that.
I'm so glad that guy's
Finally,
gone. Oh
dude.
my
I'm
god.
sorry about him.
Back to the. Did you hear that?
Nope. That's good. Go ahead.
You took both headphones off him, right?
Both pairs?
Both sides.
I did.
Did you just look at both sides to make sure?
Looking both ways like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
I just really want, like, I don't know. We're really very appreciative of everything like that. I think people are gonna be cool with it. I'm just
Yeah, they'll
like,
be cool with it.
Yeah.
If they listen to the thing, yeah, they'll be fine
Yeah,
with it.
they know us. They know where we're coming from.
Mhm.
And I fucking hate them. That's a bad time joke. Okay.
Also, yeah, we've had a lot of people like asking questions too, and these like they're good ones. A lot of people have asked different variations of like, when is Eddie going to be on the official podcast? When is Gus going to? When is Jakey going to? We've all already done that.
Yeah.
So go check out the official podcast. It's an entertaining one.
They're great. Love
We were
those
all
boys.
guests.
Yeah, I didn't community post mine, so that's probably why my questions were there. I didn't give
I
any
forgot to do that
directory.
too.
Yeah, I need to. The thing is, I didn't upload in like a month, and now I haven't uploaded in 15 days. So
I had that thing where it's like I had prepared a bunch of like self videos, and then I had shot the collab with like Churdley's and the Fairbairn Films boys. By the way, subscribe to both of those channels. Fairbairn Films, Churdley's, good memes. And then it's just like I shot that shit with them like a while ago, and then I was ready to release a video, and then it was just like both of them hit me up and like, oh, we're gonna release a video tomorrow. And I was like, so I had a lot of community tab posting stuff to do. You coming back in?
Here I am.
Did you wash?
I washed extra good.
did you watch
Good.
twice?
I can if you need me.
Did
No.
you better wash out? Better not pout? Better go empty my balls out. 1 sec.
Is that the Breaking Bad spinoff?
Yeah.
Better not empty my balls out.
Better go empty my balls out.
We don't edit that out, do we?
No, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
that'd be too hard on our old friend Tone Dog. I feel so bad for giving him that nickname.
it was like for you guys when Sven had gotten here, maybe like 2 hours before Tony got here,
Yeah.
and I was just standing out waiting because Tony was gonna be there like 2 minutes, and you're like, when does Tone Dog get here? And just knowing Tony immediately, I was like, he is not
That's
gonna like
everything he
that.
hates. I just love picturing like how to spell it, like TONE-DOG or maybe DAWG.
It's DAWG. I think so.
I think so.
You have any nicknames in high school?
I never had a nickname, but no. Well, I've gotten Svenny Boy a lot, which is kind of generic, but like you
That's
can't.
not that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, well, it's just like E-Boy at the end
Yeah,
of the name.
yeah.
But there's not much. Nobody's like ever heard the name Sven, so there's not much room for creativity in like a young child's mind there. You didn't wash your hands, did you?
I did. Didn't you hear the sink run?
No, I guess I believe you though.
They called me a loser poopy pants in high school because
That's
I
what
pooped
I-
my pants. I was a loser.
That's a fitting
I'm gonna go
one.
pee right now.
Gus,
This-
did
what?
did you ever have any nicknames?
Did I ever have any nicknames? Yeah, dude, I had a shitty nickname. Also, I just want to say this is going to be the easiest part for Tony to edit because he only needs one coverage. So, hell yeah, Tony, I'm a boy. Yeah, dude. Oh, I want to wait for Eddie to get back to tell the one. No, I almost don't. I don't want him to make fun of me. Yeah, dude, when I was a kid, it sounds so stupid now and I can laugh about it, but it bugged the hell out of me. You already know the answer. I don't know. I'm telling you.
Is it Goose Poop?
There was this fucking kid that called me Goose Poop. Fuck you, Evan, you piece of shit. Evan was just one of these kids that was like always like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna fuck with people." You know, I feel very fortunate that I don't think that like I don't consider myself having been bullied at all. Like when I was a kid, there were kids that were shitty sometimes, but they were more like, I am the kid that is shitty to everybody, you know, and didn't really focus it on me. But he's just one of those kids that would like just fuck around and make people feel like shit, you know?
Yeah.
And like I was lucky enough that like I was kind of clever and funny and able to kind of like redirect it, like, hey, you know, so that I was never really targeted. But it's just like one of these like piece of shit kids. Like I don't wish him ill. I hope you're doing well, Evan, you know, but you were a piece of shit to me and a lot of kids in middle school. So fuck you.
It was the bus too. The bus was such a hostile
Dude, the
environment.
bus, thank God that I don't know how I survived the bus without getting shit on.
Dude, but like I feel like the bus is essential for like kids to grow up, honestly.
Yeah, you need to have the bus.
Like if you can survive the bus, then you're basically ready for life.
you can join the Navy.
if you rode the bus.
No, it was like, dude, the bus was rough. Our bus was
know.
rough as hell too. I remember a bus driver like yelling at
Oh,
kids.
sometimes I remember he'd like stop the bus and then like get up and then yell at kids. I remember one time, and I don't even blame the bus driver for this.
Dude,
There
I
was
don't
this-
blame him at all. Our kids
No,
were shit.
Honestly, maybe it was just exclusive to our bus, but there were kids on there who would like genuinely like hurt other kids, and like you can't tolerate that. Like one time, I remember we were still in the town, so it's not that dramatic because the kid just had to walk a little ways. But
Yeah,
like
kick the kid
he
off
kicked
the
the kid off the bus.
like your way to get home from school. And
Yeah.
it's like, fuck you, get off the
Yeah,
bus.
it's like this kid was like punching another kid, and then our bus driver just like was not having it because one, it's a huge distraction for him, and two, he's being an asshole. You can't reinforce that type of behavior. So our bus driver just like stopped the bus, got up, and he's like, I'm not gonna say his name. He's like, get off the bus now. You're walking home.
This
And
is
so-
like pre-cell phone days too, so it's and the bus driver didn't even call it in, so it just kicked the kid off the bus
Yeah.
and left him. We were just talking about the bus.
yeah.
The bus in general.
Did you ever ride the bus?
Did I ever ride the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the bus for you like a hostile environment?
It
too?
wasn't as I've heard about the bus for you, and it was not like that. There wasn't
Really?
really like bullying on
Yeah.
our bus at all,
Oh, there was
but
bullying on our
there
bus.
was like I feel like there wasn't traditional bullying at all at any of my schools. Like there was, you know, the more advanced types of like cyberbullying and shit like
Yeah.
that. But one thing is I think I said this to you guys before, but not on the podcast during this trip, is that one time just for Tony, he got tricked twice on the bus when we were younger. Is one time one of our like friends, I guess, or he just went on the home on the bus with us. He told Tony like put his hand up. We were in kindergarten, and he just like put these fingers down, and he's like, and then put these down, put this in, and the second he did it, he was just like, Tony has his middle finger up, and like Tony got in trouble. And then another time he got, or I don't know if it's like I'm confusing the stories with somebody else. I know Tony specifically was saying "damn."
Yeah.
He told him to say "damn," and then he told on him. And then Tony went up to the bus driver to be like in trouble. And she's like, "You're gonna go home, and you're gonna tell your mom that you said damn." And since he was like 5, he was gonna do it. But then our older sister was like, "Just don't tell them." He's like, "Oh, okay." So,
Genius.
Sven asked before, like, were you guys talking about nickname stuff before I got back?
yeah.
Did you ever have a nickname? Did you already answer that?
Yeah, I didn't have a
That
I
you
mean,
hated or whatever? 'Cause
No, I
had
just
one
really
I
was
fucking hated.
Eddie. That was it.
Yeah. And I just said too, there was this, I told you before, I'm very thankful because I never consider myself having been bullied when I was a kid. There were always just those kind of shit kids that were in rotation though, and sometimes you get the heat for a while
Yeah,
from,
I know
from
you
those
mean,
fucking
yeah.
asshole kids. And there's this kid named Evan, there's no last name, who was just one of those shitty kids. And I just said, fuck you, Evan. You know, he's just one of those shitty kids that makes life hard for people, you know? Give kids swirlies and shit. Like, what kind of storybook 80s bully is that shit? You know, just mean to people and just ruin people's, like, I hope that he thinks about that kind of shit now. Like, you really fucked up a lot of people's childhoods because of that shit.
Yeah.
But it sounds funny just from the name of it now. But when I was in 3rd grade, we were at recess, and he just came up with this name, and he started calling me, and people started laughing. And then he was the only one for, like, 4 years that would just call me. He called me Goose Poop. It sounds funny. I told you.
does, yeah,
I
but
can
if
laugh
you're
about
9,
it now.
that
But when
would
you're
piss me
9
off. Yeah.
and that comes down the pipeline at recess and
Oh, yeah.
everybody laughs at
That's
that, you're
fucked
like,
up.
you think is my life over? Because am I fucking goose poop now for like my whole life?
Some people don't lose that until they leave high school. So
Yeah.
that's a very, like, it's not even a kid end of the world thing. It
Yeah.
might have followed you around for.
I do. Who knows if that had been a big thing that other kids had bought into? Like that, I could be a very different person right now. Because
Yeah.
what if I would have had a shitty, horrible childhood? But it was always only Evan that called me that, and it fizzled out after a few years. But it's just like fuck that kid, you know?
Yeah.
And then you beat him up.
And then I beat him up.
But no, like, not actually, right?
Goose Poop v. Evan. That's the title card.
The Evan. No, the bus was just a breeding ground for that type of stuff.
Dude, it was horrible.
I remember just one last thing about the bus.
Dude,
I could talk about the bus for hours.
Let me tell you about that bus.
One time I was about 10 years old, it must have been, and there was a kid who was kind of friends with me. He's kind of a rascal, so, you know, even at 10 years old, I knew to kind of keep him at arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he took the razor blade out of a pencil sharpener, and he started, like, he would go onto the bus seats, the back of the bus seats, and just, like, carve shit.
Is that how those got cut? They
Yeah,
would
from
always
From
be-
razors? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. That's how this kid
Just
did
like
it.
I didn't know. You'd always see the back of a bus seat, and you'd be like, "How the fuck is this so ripped?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?"
And so, like, he it was, like, multiple bus seats, and my bus driver, being the type of no-nonsense guy that he is, would not have it. And he discovered it the next day. And, like, I specifically watched this kid do it. And he stopped the bus before we even, like, started going on our route. And he said, one of you little shits is carving on the back of my bus seats. And I'm not going to have it. I'm going to give $50 to whoever can tell me who's been doing
Whoa,
this. Which, when
can
you're
you
a kid,
do that?
Yeah, when you're a kid, $50 is a lot of
Dude,
money.
he could have
Dude.
said 5 and everyone
Dude,
would have
honestly.
That's like going into a bank and being like, "I will pay the mortgage of anybody who does
no,
this."
so like that was like a huge like turning point in my life, because as a kid who I kind of like, he was kind of my friend, but like
Did you sell
It's
him
like-
out?
Did you sell him out for
I didn't
$50?
snitch, and I was
That's
like,
my boy,
that's,
dude.
That's
That's
what
my
I.
boy.
That's the kind of person I am. And so, like, at the end of the day, he like stood up at the front of the bus, like waiting for people to tell him, and I just walked on by and I didn't tell him anything. One of my other friends behind him was like, "Oh yeah, that was Sam." I was like, "Okay."
I would just love to think like, if Sven walked by, he's like, "Sven, $51." There's Sam. There's Sam. Holy shit.
But no, Sam's a good guy now.
I did it for the meme, the praising you thing, but I would have snitched on him in an instant.
Like, really?
Even when I was young, it's like those kids that are just pieces of shit. It's just like, yeah, fuck them. Yeah,
I
turn them
can't.
in.
He
I
wasn't
couldn't
like
snitch.
He
I'll do
wasn't
it.
like a bad kid, really. He just did some dumb shit. But
He just
grew
did
out of
stuff
it.
that bad kids do.
Not trying to throw any shade on my boy Sam.
No, I remember like it was you wanted to try to stay out of the light. Like the back of the bus was for like the high school
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
and it was like the fucking Eye of Sauron, where you just
Whoa.
don't want to be
Yeah.
The back of the bus was for the high school. You guys rode the bus with all the grades?
every grade.
Well,
That's
the
why.
Thing, well, the thing is, it was usually like the more burnout kids in high school
That
who would
were
ride the
still
bus.
riding the
couldn't drive
bus
home.
Yeah. So they were like the shitty, like mean kids that were on
What
the back
the
of the bus.
fuck,
Yeah.
So
dude?
you genuinely, like, you'd go down the row and it'd be like preschoolers to high schoolers.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
all on the same bus. And it was genuinely, I use the analogy, it was like the fucking Eye of Sauron, where you're just trying to avoid getting seen, because if they see weakness, they turn their attention on you, and then you're their bitch, you know?
Oh my god.
I remember. Okay, this isn't our bus. This is different. Not my hood here, but like somebody else told me about on their bus. Some kid, it was a high schooler in the back, and he had a big elastic band, and he had D batteries. I don't know why. And he's trying
What
to.
the fuck, dude?
He was trying to sling D batteries at preschoolers at the
What?
front of the bus. Like, that is just intolerable behavior. These little kids,
You could kill a kid with that
right?
shit.
Right?
Yeah,
But
move out of
first
the way of the
one-
D battery, you fucking dumb kid.
Survival of the fittest. But no, the first battery, he said, he like slung it back and he let go and it missed everyone and he hit the bus driver in the back of the head, just
Yo.
clocked him.
Oh,
and
no.
he turned around and it was like,
Who hit me with this D battery?
$50 to whoever kills that motherfucker.
but no, that's
I will use this for my son's RC car later. You have not won.
this is a Wild West, dude.
Dude, I remember, like, we had talked before about, like, words that we'd said when we were kids that we didn't know were just shitty and stuff. Like gay was just, we'd said that and it was shitty. And now we learn that we don't say that because we're not in fucking like 4th grade anymore.
Hillary Duff saved us.
Thank you, Hillary Duff. But I remember one pivotal moment for me was when I was like in 5th grade on the bus, and there was the high school kids. Like one day, like I got on the bus, and this kid, let's call him Jay. His name is not Jay. Jay, JB gets on the bus, and then just for no reason, whenever I would start talking that day, he just went, "Nerd!"
Oh, I remember that.
Nerd! Yeah, and then I was just like, oh, fuck. And some of the high school kids started laughing, and I was like, this is it. I got to do something. So I turned around really loud, and I said, Jay, like, I wake up every morning, and I look in the mirror, and I thank God that I am not fat and gay like you. And it ended immediately. He shut up in his seat, and like, again, that's a horrible thing.
That's a verbal punch to the face.
It's a verbal
dude.
punch when you're a kid. And because I said that in all the
How old were you?
I was in 5th grade.
That's still at the time where it's like,
I didn't know.
it was, well, the thing is, like, obviously, I'm saying, like, that's totally normal then, even.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the word. I'm saying doing that act is like a kid defending himself.
Like, I was so shy and stuff, too. And again, no way would I say that shit. How old are you in 5th grade?
You wouldn't say it publicly now. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, and genuinely, we're not even doing this for the bit. We don't talk like that off camera, like, that's gay.
Yeah.
We just don't do that.
No, I don't think anyone's listening is like, you don't say the same things you said when you were 5th grade.
What were we, 11 in 5th grade?
Yeah, that's half of our lives.
The joke is on yourself if you're saying that.
We grew up in a town of 1,000 people. There were class sizes of 60. We had no culture or like world perspective at all. And then gay was stupid back then.
Well,
I didn't know.
I mean, no, at the time, especially in 5th grade, when we were in 5th grade, that was not like even a thing that dropped here. That was a thing that was like just normal then.
Yeah, I'm covering my tracks way more than I need to for a fucking 5th grader. Obviously, I don't say that shit.
One thing,
but I had to fucking do that to stay alive.
Yeah. One thing too is I don't like the argument of I'll see like primarily on Twitter younger people who are like 13, 14 who are like, that has never been okay and it never will be. It's like, it was normal.
Yeah.
That was a normal thing that was said all the time across America, at least for kids who were not told it was a super wrong thing to say.
Yeah, that's the thing is for the most part, too, it wasn't even that it was normal and people knew. It's like for me and for most people, I feel like growing up and shit, it was normal and you didn't even know that it was like a shitty, hurtful thing.
Connect the dots. It wasn't like using it for the same thing at the time.
I genuinely had no concept of what gay really was when I was in 5th grade.
Did you not in your town like discuss gay people at all?
Not one bit. I did because my mom mentioned, bless her soul, like very young, like she talked to us and just said like, hey, if you guys are gay, like you can just tell us, like we'll love you. There's no problems there. Like that's incredible for your parents to say that. So I knew just baseline gay is when like in my mind I said gay is when you have sex with like people that are also your gender or whatever. And that's all I knew, but we did not have any talks from school, no talks at even like church and stuff. Like I had no concept of that shit.
Yeah.
Gay was just like, that's like, you get somebody you're gay, burn, zing.
Well, that's because again, the only time I see people saying that like again, and I think every rational person, people that listen to our stuff again are people who enjoy comedy on YouTube and like critique stuff on YouTube, is like when they went back into Brother Nature's tweets when he was like fucking 12 or something. And it wasn't he was like 16 or I don't remember exactly the age, but it was like a long time ago and he like used a word he wasn't supposed to. And it's like, he was a minor. If we're not charging minors for things, we shouldn't charge them for it like later socially. You know what I mean?
Especially like, what do you do when like someone says something when they're a kid and then as like when they grow years later, like they just say like, that was so stupid and I learned from that and I'm sorry and I don't believe in that. There are just so many people that like, it's like cancel culture shit where it's like, oh, you got this, zoop, you're done forever.
Well, like, to connect the dots for it then, that kid, did you say his name is Evan?
Yeah.
If you face to face, if he was like, I have grown as a person, I'm so ashamed of what I did when I was younger, I'm so sorry. You wouldn't be like, apologies not good enough, dude. Like you were 16 or like you were 13, you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean?
No,
like, come on.
You're supposed to make mistakes when you're a kid because otherwise you don't know what you're gonna do later on.
Yeah. That's why I killed a bunch of people when I was 12.
Classic, dude.
So you
I
can't
didn't
catch
know.
me. You didn't tweet about it. That's why it's fine. Victimless crime.
I realized we went through maybe one of these
Then
questions.
we talked about killing shit. That's all right.
Should we take one more? Another one?
What time are we at right now?
We are at an hour and 9 minutes.
Wow.
I'd say we take one more cue.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, well, here's a couple quick teeny zingers. At Mr. Mocha says, ketchup on the fries or ketchup on the side?
Side.
So
Side,
is it a
duh.
question?
Duh.
Because
How are you going to grab that shit? It's going to be soggy.
Yeah, it's like then you can choose everything, and you could, like, if you want a plain fry, you still got a plain fry.
Also get laid. Then you can also get laid.
Exactly.
Get laid. Here's another quickie at Duncan P. Donuts. How did you meet Chris O'Neill?
The tweet went out. I was like, what the like?
Yeah, I was like,
the-
I saw that and I was like, how did you know that? We
Yeah.
just met him.
That's one I like to call a full Jakey.
We went full Jaco mode on that.
Yeah. Chris likes Jakey stuff, and they talked a bit, and we got to hang out. And Chris was fucking awesome. I love Chris.
Yes.
He's really nice.
Just wonderful people all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And then my header right now is his girlfriend did it. She's great.
Oh, you made that your header?
Yeah, I made it my header.
Yeah,
Cool.
I asked her my permission first. I did not steal from an artist. Do you have any weird hobbies? At it's Torritan. I'm a pretty normal guy. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Probably fucking.